Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how I transformed this lovely closure from human hair in Nigeria and this lovely hair pieces from Karen to a lovely center part closure wig. It looks very natural on top and it would look very natural when you install it. Please pay attention to this video because it is highly fast forwarded. First off, I started by threading about 7 to 8 needles. I do this because I think it is more efficient to thread your needles down rather than threading your needles in between making your wig. And then I placed the closure on top of the wig cap. Now watch carefully and see what I do. I'm not placing the closure directly on the same line with the wig cap. I'm bringing it a little bit further, so it's like an inch in front of where the wig cap actually starts. This would help give the natural feel when you wear the wig. So watch again. I'm bringing it a bit further down and placing it like an inch further down than where the wig cap starts. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And I'm putting this closure in place with my T-pins and some other pins. I also use water and my hairbrush to make sure that no hair gets in the way as I use my pins to hold the closure down to the wig cap. And then I like to braid my closure so that it is easy to sew the closure to the wig cap when I need to and no hair getting in my way. And then I take one of my threaded needles that I have already knocked at the end and start to sew my closure to my wig cap. Now watch this carefully. I am going to sew this in 2 phases. I would first start by sewing from your left, which is my right, all the way up to the middle of the closure. This will help make sure that the closure is well placed flat on the wig cap. I noticed that when I sew it all the way around, a straight sew from the left all the way round to the right hand side of the closure, sometimes it has that bump and doesn't lie very flat on your wig cap. So I am taking my needle and sewing from the left corner of the closure straight up to the middle of the closure, and then I would start again on the right hand side of the closure and sew it all the way up to the middle of the closure where it would meet the initial sewing that I have done. And also make sure that you're sewing the extreme edge of your closure to your wig cap. You don't want to sew the closure itself or the hair to your wig cap. So you'll see how I'm making sure I get every hair out of the way with my pins and make sure that I do not sew the hair itself to the wig cap. I mean, the hair is meant to fly and to slay. So get every hair away from getting in the way of sewing your closure to your wig cap. Braid it, use water, use your brush, and then sew. Don't forget to sew the extreme edge of your closure to the wig cap. And as you can see, I started again sewing from the right hand side of the wig cap all the way up to the middle of the closure where it meets with the initial sewing that I did. Don't forget to knot your sewing and make sure you tie properly. Now it's time to place the hair on the wig cap. You see what I'm doing? I'm showing you how the different methods with which you can place your hair on your wig cap. There's so many ways to it, but I would love to use this method, and kindly watch carefully and see exactly what I would do here. So I first start by placing my hair on the very bottom of the wig cap. I like to do this so that it gives you the illusion of a natural step-by-step hair. I don't like to start where you see the net. No, I like to start at the very, very bottom of my wig cap. And then for this particular wig, I do not want to cut my hair. I don't want to cut my bundle. I don't want to cut them in pieces. And I know there are people like me who also want to preserve their bundles without cutting it, so that when you take the hair off the wig, it's not in pieces, and it looks messed up. Sometimes more difficult to maintain or to wash. You want your hairs to look as long as possible, in its full bundle form. So, but in order to do this, it could be a bit tricky, because that way when you fold, your hair might not lie flat. So make sure that at the very edge where you are folding your hair, you tuck your hair properly into the wig cap as you make it. Make sure it is as flat as possible on the very point where you are making the fold of your tracks. Also, at this point, here's what I am doing. I should have done this at the beginning, and this is for learners. This will help put you in place, will help guide where exactly you want to place your hairs on your wig cap. Sometimes you might just forget and not know exactly what you did the last time and how to carry on. So setting these lines on your wig cap will just help guide you so you can follow through. And don't forget, as you fold, make sure you tuck the very edge of your hair really nicely. Tuck it in down at the tip of the track. Tuck it in so that it doesn't look swollen, so that it lies very flat on your wig cap. And then as you see me sew, I'm not really sewing my tracks closely, but as far as you knot your thread every time that you sew, make that knot on your thread every time that you sew, you are fine. And whenever your needle or your thread finishes, it's okay, you can just cut it there, make a knot, and then keep sewing. So this is all repetition. I'm following the lines that I have drawn on my wig cap, and I am making sure that I knot my thread really tightly, and I'm also making sure that I do not sew on the elastic band of my wig cap so that it's not tight. I'm sewing the net itself, I'm sewing on top itself. And I also make sure that every time that I fold a track, when I get to the end of the wig cap and I'm starting on another line, I make sure that I bend it really nicely and make sure that I tuck the very edge of the track really nicely so that it looks very flat. And also here you would see what happened. The particular track finished, but because I had drawn the line on the wig cap, it kind of guided me to know that I was not done with what I was doing on the line. So those lines are very important. And now, I just did the rest off camera because it's all repetition and I care about your data. Yeah. So this is now me concluding making this segment of the wig, and this is where you sew your hairs to where your closure was sewn initially. Make sure that you sew at the very edge of your hair tracks, and you also sew at the very edge of your closure so that it lies flat, and also ensure to sew very closely together and not every time that you deem necessary. So yes, we are done with making the wig, but this is not all. You will notice that the closure rather, looks rather full, and I wanted to have that very natural flat feel in front. Yes, also don't forget to cut off the inner track, the inner layer of your wig cap from underneath where your closure is, so that it gives that very natural scalp-like looking feel when you wear your caps. Now it's time to pluck the front of the hair, so it gives you that natural feel. So first off, I pin the hair to my canvas, take it all back with water and a hairband, secure my baby hairs so that I can use it for the baby hair, and then I start to pluck. So this is how I pluck. There is no particular method to pluck, but for me, I create a box on every side of the hair, every angle of the hair. I create a box, as you can see, and then I just start to pluck around it, and I pluck in the middle of it, and that is how I just keep doing all the way round and round the front, the closure of the hair. Now this is me just straightening the hair using my blow dryer and my brush so that it gives it that very flat look. We want to slay this hair to perfection, baby. So I'm also using my hair straightener. So I'm basically combing and then using my straightener I comb and use my straightener. I comb and use my straightener. I also applied some oil because I just washed the hair, so I applied some serum that has coconut oil in it, and you can do same to give your hair that shine. Woof! Wow, look how beautiful this hair is. My god, I love it. Not just because I made it, but I love it. I love how natural it looks. I don't like hairs that are too full in front, because then it's not natural, and that is exactly what I was trying to achieve. I will be installing this hair, though it's a closure, but I will be installing it to look just like a frontal in my next video. So do well to subscribe so you see my next video, because I know you would love it. And don't forget to thumbs up. Love you.